Hello everyone, welcome to another trade breakdown on EU. I am doing this trade breakdown to prepare myself for the upcoming week that is coming tomorrow. Today is Sunday and I'm preparing for the coming week ahead. So I'm going to start my analysis on the 1 week time frame. On this time frame, I'm going to focus on three things: market profile, dealing ranges, and key levels. And I'm going to be using this information and this details in order to diagnose Euro USD and then know where Euro USD is going to be going on the upcoming week. Based on my range strategy, right? I'm going to be looking for a typical range and then look for where price is actually sweeping liquidity below or above the range. So if you look left, you can clearly see that price is taking out liquidity to the downside, and probably when price is sweeping liquidity to the downside, I'm expecting price to be going towards the upside. So based on that, that is already an identification of a range. Right now, I am looking for a valid key level. This is my valid key level where I'm probably expecting a bullish reaction. This is my my key level. So this candle was that candle that swept liquidity below the range, so price just engulfed that candle. So I'm expecting price to come back to that candle and use that candle as a key level. So based on that, I am already in a reversal profile, because if you look right, price actually pushed up, right, and then that was an expansion, and then price retraced. This was a retracement profile. Then price now is reversing after reacting on this key level. So this is my logic based on this, and on this I can clearly see this a I can clearly see that this is a CRT, right? That CRT is probably low probability because price is actually bullish based on this range strategy. The fact that price is presenting a bearish CRT, right, is not enough. It's not enough evidence that price is probably going to continue going bullish. So based on my drawn liquidity, right, I always want to look at my long-term drawn liquidity and my short-term drawn liquidity. My long-term draw on liquidity is my opposing end of the range. So you can clearly see that Euro USD is pushing towards this opposing end of the range, and price had already made it to 50% of the range. So the retracement and the reversal going on right now is for price to target this opposing end of the range, right? Okay, right now I'm going to be going directly to the 1 day time frame. Based on the 1 day time frame, I can clearly see that price actually made a market structure shift, right, after sweeping liquidity below this side liquidity. So price now made a market structure shift, and then price retraced towards that weekly key level, right? The price make this re, this rejection towards the weekly key level, and then price now create a range, right? Price create a range, this range here. So inside that range, there is still another muscle number one in which I can probably frame my bias, right? This is the daily range, right? According to me, the weekly and daily range are the most important ranges for me. I love taking my ranges. I will identify my ranges on either the weekly or the daily. I don't like going lower than that whenever I'm identifying my ranges. So as well as my key levels. Right now you can see that this is a bullish dealing range. So price is actually sweeping these highs, and price is probably going to, price was actually sweeping these highs, right, this swing high, and price made a retracement. Then there was an SMT, so price made an SMT towards this FVG here. So this FVG here was the area where price was making an SMT. So my short-term drawn liquidity is this high here, and my long-term drawn liquidity is this opposing end of the range. So I'm also looking at these important highs on the left hand side, these highs here, sorry, let me first identify, let me first note mark this high, and then this high. This are my short-term drawn liquidity, right? This important highs, and then also this is my long-term drawn liquidity. So I'm expecting price to make it towards those highs over there, and then you can clearly see the range in the daily time frame. It is probably clear that price actually was sweeping both the highs and also sweeping the lows, which this was now my bullish profile, because market profile is that when the market rejects lows now, you expect highs to be broken, and when the market rejects highs, you expect lows to be broken. Based on this idea and also following the trend on the higher time frame, I am now sure and I'm confident that price is going towards this short-term drawn liquidity and probably opposing end of the range. So looking at my 1 day time frame, right, um I'm not sure, but I am certain with my analysis that price is actually going towards this short-term drawn liquidity over here, because price had closed already with on the 1 day time frame with a candle above 50% of the range, right? So I'm probably expecting price to go to the opposite end of the range. I have no CRT, no clue based on CRT for now. I'm just gonna be waiting for price to give me a clue for me to trade. Based on that, I'm just on my hands waiting for the market on Monday. So if you have been able to watch the video to this level, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. What you have to do now is just to wait. If price is giving you a clear drawn liquidity, so whenever I want to identify my bias, I just apply the if then principle. So if price is closing above, then higher prices. If price is weakening below, then higher prices. So this if then principle is just what I'm always using in order to predict my bias. So make sure you share the video. I love you guys. Keep watching and keeping the algorithm noticing the channel. That is what is more important at the moment.